All right, Shalom, Shalom. Giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. All right, before I start the lesson, I want to give it up double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who were well and worthy to be accounted double honors and peace and salutations to every brother preaching the truth throughout the four corners of the truth, throughout the four corners of the earth with truth and sincerity in their hearts. All right, this is the brother Shamaria of the Indiana camp. GMS Indiana, coming at you with another lesson. And the title of this lesson is going to be about recompense. All right. Before I go into it, let me get that in. Let me get that word recompense in the dictionary. Okay. This is going to be the English. You know, recompense weather. Let me get this in the English recompense definition. The English definition is to make amends, to pay, to make amends to someone or loss or harm suffered, compensate. And when you receive compensation, you receive an equivalent amount of what you lost. All right. The noun definition is compensation, or reward given for loss or harm suffered of effort. All right, or effort made. Okay. So basically, it's compensation. Like I said, compensation. When you receive compensation, it's basically receiving an equivalent amount. All right, of what you have lost, or what you have, or what you need to be requited for. All right, let me look up the ETY. Adam Online. Adam Online. Recompense. Basically, the word just means to repay. Okay, it says recompense, to make good. All right. It says recompense, or from the Latin, recompense in the verb. From the Latin re again, conspire, balance out. So you gotta rebalance it out again. You know, recompense re. You see it right here, the Latin. It says Latin re again, and then compensare, balance out, literally to weigh out. All right, now with that being said, the King James Holy Bible speaks about it is a righteous thing to recompense those that trouble you. You know? Excuse me. Okay, 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 6. It says, seeing it is a righteous thing with Yahweh to recompense tribulation, to recompense trouble. All right, to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. All right, seeing that it is a righteous thing with Yahweh to do that. Okay, why is that? Because the Lord works in balance, man. You know, the Lord works in balance, and all the atrocities that that was done upon the so-called Native Americans and the so-called Negroes and the so-called Latinos. All right, all of which are the true Israelites of the Bible. You know, all of those atrocities are going to have to be requited. All right, recompense means what? To re meaning again. Compense goes back to the Latin conspire, to balance out. So it has to balance out because we haven't got requited or compensation for what they have done to us, you know, and then they haven't gotten they haven't gotten properly recompensed to what they've done to us. So it works on both ends. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 9 and 6. Genesis 9 and 6. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of Yahweh made he man. All right. It said whosoever, and it's plain as day. Whosoever shed his man's blood, so our blood was shed. It says, by man shall his blood be shed. All right. So how many slave masters have died? How many conquistadors have died that came to the so-called Hispanics? How many conquistadors have died by the hands of man that shed man's blood? How many slave masters have died that owned so-called Negroes, by man's hand? There's a lot of them that went unrequited, So that's gonna have to happen. The book of Deuteronomy says that. Now, when you read the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, it talks about all the curses that the Israelites are going to receive when they go against the Lord. And according to history, all right, they went against the Lord. All right. According to history now, they went against the Lord. So this is what's going to happen upon all the enemies of the Israelites, which are all the other nations. All the heathen nations are enemies to the Israelites. It says, Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7, and the Lord thine God shall put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which pursued thee. All right? So the Lord is going to put all the curses in Deuteronomy 28 on our enemies. Because why? We didn't get recompense. We didn't get compensation. We didn't balance it out. All right? We didn't balance it out. So we got to balance that out. We need to get requited for all of the things and all the abominations and all of the trespasses they have done to us. All right. Now, the scriptures talk about in the book of Galatians, it talks about how if you do good, then shall you not receive for the good which thou hast done? I believe it's 4 and 6 or 6 and 4. I got my Bible right here, so let me pull it in my scripture so I don't know. It's kind of easier for me to pull it in the scriptures. Ephesians, Galatians. All right. So what is it? 6. There it is. It's 6 and 7. All right, it's the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 7. Book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 7. But be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. All right. So if you reap, all right, let's go into verse 8. For he that soweth for he that soweth to his flesh shall low to his chest shall slack it. Let me read that over. It's choppy. Galatians 6 and 8. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. All right, so the things that they have done to the Israelites, all the other nations, because the book of Maccabees talks about no other nation, what nation have not had a hand in Israel in Israel's spoils. Okay, so it says, for he that soweth in his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth in the spirit shall of the spirit reap life everlasting. All right. So if you sow in the flesh, which was what? Rape, rob, pillage, murder. Those are things of the flesh. All right. Basically, anything that's not of the scriptures is going to things of the flesh. And Esau Edom being the head of the wicked, he has sowed greatly of the flesh. That's all you do is sow of the flesh. So it's only right, given the certain scriptures that I just pulled out of the King James Bible, it's only right that he receive what he has done, And it's prophecy. Esau is going to be put out of power because of why? Because of unrighteous dealings, and it says that. What does it say? That is it. Second Ezra. Is it Second Ezra or is it Sirach? Let me find it real quick. I think it's Sirach. You know what? It is Sirach. Yep. Let me pull that real quick. It is Sirach 12 and 7. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, better known as Sirach. Okay. I'm already in Sirach. Let me see if I can go to chapter 12, verse 7. So I give it chapter 10, verse 7. It says, Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 7, pride is hateful before God and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity. All right, those are things of the flesh. All right, so they're going to reap things of the flesh because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit. The kingdom is translated from one people to another. So because of all of those things that you reap of the flesh, because of all of those things that you reap in your flesh, you're going to reap the same thing. Because of what? Because the 8th verse of Galatians 6 was for he that soweth to his flesh shall reap the flesh, reap corruption. All right. So let me get another precept because this is going to happen. What does 9 and 6 say? That's Genesis 9 and 6. Colossians 3:25. Alright, that's a good one. Colossians 3:25. Start at 24. Colossians 3, chapter 24. Chapter 3, verse 24. Knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Mashiach. But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he had done. And there is no respect of persons. Alright, so if you done wrong, why should you not receive for the wrong that you have done? Alright? Because it's only right. It's only right. Okay? And that's basically it, man, because the Lord is going to put Esau out of power. Okay? And it's not because of anything, only it's because of prophecy. It's a prophecy that Esau punished us accordingly to how he did. It's prophecy, And it's also prophecy that he has to pay for it. Jeremiah 16. Now this is regarding Israelites, but you can apply it to Edom because it applies, it fits. 16:16. This is Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 18. All right, now when this was written, it was talking about Israelites. All right, because the things that Israel was doing at the time that we were in the land were defiled, but we were still doing it. All right, but now you have these fake Jews, these Khazars, these Jewish people in the land today, defiling it. It says, for my Jeremiah 16, verse 17, for mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes. And first, I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double, because ye have defiled my land. They have filled my inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. All right, now Esau, Edom is in the Holy Land, Israel, doing it today. All right, with the other Ishmaelites in Palestine. All right, they're all doing the abominable works over there. All right, and it said the Lord is going to recompense their sin double. All right, and that applies to them because the Lord has to reward Esau as they have rewarded us. It says that in the book of Revelation 18. It says that in Jeremiah 15. It's like in Jeremiah 50. No, 51. I don't know exactly where it says it. It talks about reward her. There it is. Okay, this is not the one I wanted, but it's good too. This is Jeremiah 51:6. The one I wanted is in Revelation 18. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. All right, he's going to render unto her Babylon a recompense because of all the atrocities done in this land. All right, all of the atrocities done in the land of Babylon. And when you go into the word Babylon, it means confusion. All right, it means confusion. So all of the perverse things that they do against us holy scriptures in Babylon, the Lord is going to render unto her a recompense. Now let me see if I can find one in Revelations, the 18th chapter, when it says reward unto her even as she has rewarded you. All right. Here it is, 6. This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 6. It says, reward her. Okay, I started 5. It says, for her sins. I started 4. Revelation 18:4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not her plagues. All right, this is the Lord redeeming his elect unto the chariots. Okay, verse 5, it says, for her sins have reached unto the heaven, and Yahweh have remembered her iniquities. All right, so all the atrocities that they do, it has reached into the heavens. So, the Lord was just letting them build up, and they evidently, according to this verse, it built up to the heavens. Okay, it says, reward her, reward Babylon. All right, reward the great whore. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, and double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she have filled, fill to her double. All right. So not only are we going to punish, Esau, but we're going to punish Esau double. We're going to give to them double of what they have done unto us, man. And the Lord is going to do away with this place. He's not just going to destroy, he's going to overly destroy it. All right, he's going to overdo it. He's going to overkill this place. Because a certain amount of missiles can do it, but he wants to overdo it. He wants to let no stone stand upon another. He can end our life and leave the place untouched, but the Lord wants to show, he wants to show the destruction of this place. He wants to make a statement, This is the book of Judges. Since we're on the topic of recompense, book of Lamentations 5 in the last verse. I don't think it's 5. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 21. It says, Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked. All right, so the cup is the recompense. All of the tribulation that we suffered, that cup is those trials and tribulations, that hell, okay, if you will, that hell is going to pass through unto Edom. All right, and thou shalt be drunken. Thou shalt make thyself naked. All right, the punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. All right, so it's been done. You know, our iniquity, the punishment of our iniquity has been done. When the Lord comes back, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. No more captivity for the rest of eternity for Israel. So that's why it says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. You know, so if you're an Edomite, if you're a so-called white man, all right, then go and live it up. Go max out your credit card on do whatever you want to do. Go and whatever your heart's desire, because you'll never have a chance ever to do it again for the rest of existence after the Lord comes back. You know, and this is verse 22. The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. All right, Zion is another name for Israel. Okay, so our punishment is being done away with when the Lord comes back. He will no longer carry us away into captivity. It says, he will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thine sins. All right, let me get one more, and I'm going to close it up with this one. It's the book of Psalms, 73 or 72, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look that one up in my scripture. I'm not sure exactly what it's. I just know it's a Psalm 75 or 73 or 72 or something like that. Okay, 75 and 8. Psalm 75 verse 8. It says, but Yahweh is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red and full of mixture. And he poureth out of the same with the dregs thereof. All the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. All right, so that cup is what he's going to suffer through in the kingdom. And all right, that all the hell and the slavery and the captivity. For the hand of the Lord for in the hand of the Lord is a cup, and the wine is red and full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same with the dregs thereof. All right, so the cup is going to pass unto Edom. You know, it says, in the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall drink them. All the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. I will declare forever, and I will sing praise to the God of Jacob. You know, the God of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked shall be cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. You know, so hell is coming to Esau, Edom, man. The cup that we drunk is going to pass unto Edom, and the Lord is going to pull all the dregs thereof out of it. All right, and it's all the dregs is the stuff that sits at the bottom of the cup when the cup has been sitting stagnant for a long period of time. You know, to get the dregs out of the bottom, you have to mix it up. You know. So with that being said, recompense is righteous with the Lord, you know, and that's all I had. Yeah, that's all I had. So until next time, I'm going to say shalom.